This hadith tells us that the majority of the follower of Dajjal will be women, and the impact of Dajjal's deception on women will be of such intensity that it will require men of a family to coercively stop their women from being deceived by the fitna of Dajjal. Meaning that when Dajjal's mission is reaching to its climax, something strange will happen to the world of women. A great progressive deception in the world is under the process today, which will cause the woman to reach to a point that when they see Dajjal, they will go out and join him. And this deception is hidden behind a phenomenon called feminism. It doesn't mean that every woman is being deceived by Dajjal, because there are Muslim sisters who are much better in their beliefs than most of the men. But it means that the most of the followers of Dajjal are women who came under the influence of Dajjal's deception in a way that they are being brainwashed and lose the capacity of rational thinking. They believe whatever is being presented to them by Dajjal or his followers, and that's how these women go out and join him. Therefore, they become like robots in the hands of Dajjal.
Now, when we look at the issues of feminism, we have to understand that feminism in the West is quite different from what many of you might think feminism is as Muslims. Because the background, the history which produced feminism in the West is different from the background for Muslims. There are some rights which Western feminism has introduced which are anti-family, which are really anti-femininity, which promote lesbianism and other deviant behaviors and practices. This has become chartered in the UN. In their women's conferences, these are being promoted. The boundaries of what was just fair and just. It now shifted into radical feminism, which identified men as being the enemy. They talk about the patriarchal society, that the only way women are going to be truly free is if they divorce themselves from men. Practically. Especially now with technology, women can have a baby without the direct intervention of a man. They have sperm banks where you just make the arrangements, you get it, and you can have a child. So they say we don't need men. Of course, they still need the men to provide the sperm. So it's not that you don't need men, right? But the point is that even marriage now was being looked at as being a place of oppression of women. Because the idea that the man, is the head of the family and all this, no. They looked at that as being oppression. So they have launched an attack on the family itself. And this is what has now dominated the women's conferences that are connected with the UN, etc. The American and European feminists, they have dominated the discussion.
This is amazing how confused the women are today about their role. And they are confused because massive efforts are being done under the name of feminism in order to cause this confusion among the people. And as a result, the marriages and families, the primary building block of social and moral order, are in shambles. Much of this is laid at the feet of feminist movement, because it has overturned the thinking of women so dramatically that they have forgotten their real precious value and important responsibilities that are given by their creator. What the public sees about the feminism is that women want equal pay and they want to be free from certain social strictures. And we may think it's a movement for stopping violence against women, but the real agenda is much more serious.
This is our Prophet speaking. And he said, you will see Mirka Subyan, young people having massive wealth. Like Zuckerberg is a multi-billionaire before he was 30. And you will see Mu'amaratun Nisa. You'll see the movements to corrupt the women.
Well, one of the things they told me was that he was at the house one night, and we were talking, and he started laughing. He said, "Aaron, what do you think women's liberation was about?" And I said, I had pretty conventional thinking about it at that point. I said, I think it's about women having the right to work, getting equal pay with men, just like they won the right to vote, you know? And he started to laugh. He said, "You're an idiot." And I said, "Why am I an idiot?" He said, let me tell you what that was about. We, the Rockefellers, funded that. We funded Women's Lib, you know? And we're the ones who got all over the newspapers and television, the Rockefeller Foundation. He says, and you want to know why? He says, there were two primary reasons. And they were, one reason was we couldn't tax half the population before Women's Lib. And the second reason was, now we get the kids in school at an early age. We can indoctrinate the kids how to think. It breaks up the family. The kids start looking at the state as the family, as the school, as the officials, as their family, not as the parents teaching them. And so those are the two primary reasons for Women's Lib, which I thought up to that point was a noble thing. You know, when I saw their intentions behind it, where they were coming from when they created it, the thought of it, I saw the evil behind what I thought was a noble venture.
Aaron, did you know that Gloria Steinem, in one of her own books, now admits the CIA funded Miss Magazine?
No, I had no idea about that. No, I never heard that.
Yeah, we're gonna.
CIA funded Miss Magazine?
Funded Miss Magazine with the stated goal of detaxing women and breaking up the family.
No kidding. I never heard that. Well, Nick told me. I mean, I know it, but not because I know the CIA was involved in it.
Well, Gloria Steinem was proud of it. Oh, the CIA wanted to help me help women.
No kidding.
So they funded it, yeah. And of course, it's divide and conquer.
Right,
and
of course.
What they do is they focus in, obviously, on real problems. Women were getting shafted in many ways, but the elite wasn't planning to help them. They were planning to really shaft them and take men away from them.
The reason we have to take this movement seriously is because they constitute fortress. They constitute the speculations, the ideologies, the proud intellectualism that's erected in our society and has a formidable place. They're influencing the law, they're influencing the courts, and they have a massive influence on education. All you have to do is realize that this is how the university system thinks. That's where the school teachers are all trained, and you see how it filters all the way down through the educational system. They try to create laws, and we have to live by the laws that are obliterating all sense of moral and religious views. And their ideas are being taught through every possible medium, whether it's educational system or entertainment. And as a result, we have a brainwashed society which is following their evil ideologies.
$1,400 years ago, in the 7th century, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam had stated in his farewell address, Khutbatul Wida', he had said there in that khutbah, Ya ayyuhan nas, ala inna rabbakum wahid. O people, your Lord is one. Wa inna abakum wahid. And your father is one. Ala la fadla li arabiyyin ala a'jamiyyin. By Allah, there is no superiority of an Arab over a non-Arab. Wala li'ajamiyyin ala arabiyyin, or for a non-Arab over an Arab. Wala li'ahmarin or ahmara ala aswada. And there is none for whites over blacks. Wala li'aswada ala ahmar, nor for blacks over whites. Illa bittaqwa, except based on the fear of Allah. This statement 1,400 years ago is a statement of civil rights, a statement of equality, which was only reached by Western civilization in the 19th and 20th centuries. So we have a different background. Our laws are divinely revealed laws, revealed by the Creator of this world and everything in it. That khutbah or speech which Prophet Muhammad ﷺ gave as his farewell speech 1,400 years ago, you will not find in any civilization from the 7th century all the way up until the 20th century where a clear statement of equality and opposition to nationalism and tribalism is there. You will not find it. No matter how hard you search in all of the European countries, countries of the Far East, Near East, it's not there. And the reason why it was there at a time when nowhere else in the world was this said is because it is revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why it could be found 1,400 years ago when nobody in the rest of the world was thinking about this. So when we look at the issues of feminism, we have to look at them from this perspective, that Islam has already given us the foundations for women's rights. They're all there. Women's rights which benefit them, they're all there.
No ideology, no political movement, no army, no civilization, no culture has ever given women rights on the ground like Islam gave. Women were being buried alive, the young girls were being killed in infancy. There was no rights. Women were chattel in all societies, including European society. They were slaves. They could be bought and sold. They had no rights. They could be killed. And then when Islam came, it gave them equal rights under the law. It also showed clearly that a woman has a soul. Now this might sound strange. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, Kullu nafsin bima kasabat rahina. Every soul will be held responsible for its deeds. Now that might sound strange. Why are we saying women have a soul? We understand that. But the Christian church in the 20th century was asked, do women have souls? And many of the priests and ministers said, no. They're soulless creatures. Up until the 20th century. Islam also gave property rights to women. That she can have her own property. That the mahar, this dowry, which is supposed to be an amount of wealth that has some meaning to it, not necessarily something just symbolic, not a trifling thing, not a bribe for the father, but something which is of meaning. That is the property of the woman. And Islam established these property rights. And so, up until today, she has the right to her own property. And she has the right for her own bank account. She doesn't have to put her money in her husband's account. It also said she doesn't have to take the name of her husband. She keeps her own family name. She has her own father and her own mother. But the reality is, the constant stress in this is on independence. That these are two individuals who are married together, zawjain. When zawj is being used, it is a companion. It is zawjain, two companions who complement each other, whose qualities should not be struggling and fighting against each other, but should be complementing each other.